Welcome to my YouTube channel. What do you have to know about love? You can choose the blue pile, the black pile, the green pile. Take your time because this is important. So sometimes on the topic of love, this doesn't necessarily have to mean, like a marriage partner or a boyfriend or a girlfriend. This could be love in general because what we're needing on the planet right now is more love. And I want this to be about even maybe doing something you love or how to bring more love into your life. So whatever topic of love you have in your mind, that's what I want you to base your pile on. So think about some area of love, loving what you do, loving who you are, self-love, maybe love in a relationship, what you have to know, and use that to base your decision on which pile you're going to choose. And the links to the piles will always be in the description below. If you chose the blue pile, your love reading begins now. I'm going to cut the cards and then I'm just simply going to turn them over. So you have been somewhat closed off in the area of love. This is a self-protection mode. This is a mode that you would be in. In fact, this isn't just a little bit of your heart covered. This is a lot of your heart covered. You're somehow love in your subconscious mind means that I have to protect myself because people that I've loved in the past have maybe disappointed me, and I feel like I have to have this big wall up. There's this big wall up, and I'm protecting myself on the subject of love. The good news is you're about to break free from what has held you back. And for those of you who want to love what you're doing, you are going to be free to really pursue what you love doing. And for those of you who are thinking about relationships, even if you don't see eye to eye, you can come together and experience love. You could be night and day. They're both facing away. They're facing opposing forces, right? So it means that even if you don't see eye to eye, you can allow each person the freedom to be fully who they are. This is the unconditional love card for the world. This is the Four of Swords, which means that when you're in a loving relationship, you don't necessarily have to solve all that person's challenges. You can be there to listen. You can be there to listen, and this will improve all of your love relationships if you're not so quick to try to solve. Some people don't realize, but if you just jump in to solve their problem, you actually are giving a message to that person that you're not able to solve your problem, therefore I will. And it can be condescending, and people don't realize that. So this could also be other people are trying to solve your problems and you just need someone to listen. And it has chinked away at your self-esteem because then you always think, well, do I need someone else to solve my problem? This is happiness. And this is working out, reaching out to groups of people, groups that you love, being in groups that you love. And this is also the message that we are going to listen to you. Look at how focused they are on you. You can tell us anything, and we don't have to give you advice unless you ask for it. We're just going to provide an ear. And if you need a hug, we're going to provide a hug. So those of you right now, this is group energy. If you're hurting right now, reach out to friends, reach out to groups, and they're there to support you. They are there to help you. There you go. Supporting you. Allow yourself to be supported by others. And yet she doesn't necessarily have the solutions to his problems, but she's there to just hold the person through their suffering. And Spirit is telling you that there is love, deeper love. This is a rose coming in your life. So you're going down the right path to have deeper love in your life as a gift from Spirit, which will help you in all areas of your physical life. If you chose the black Anna Kay cards, your reading begins now. So love has been somewhat like walking a tightrope for you. It's like, whoa, I got to be careful with what I say, and I got to walk, on eggshells. You might have been raised where some of your behaviors had such high reactions to people that now you walk on eggshells. You have to be really careful around those that you love. This is also a card this is the emotions. Water is the subconscious and the emotions, and that you're a person who generally likes to give, but you also have to look at where you are on receiving. See how the cup is kind of held back? So you might be really good at giving, but not so much good at receiving. And so the cards are telling you, work on being able to receive love, and work on, this is like, the Fool is like unconditional. Like, it doesn't mean that you don't have expectations of them. It just means to look at, are your expectations in this circle of love that you have realistic? Don't be foolish with your expectations on love. And also, be sure to use your mind when you're in a relationship. That means that if you're someone you love would have you do something that's just not you, it's just not right for you, don't do it. Stop and think about it. Stop and think about it before you do it. You guys are coming from a deep place where you had a lot of fear around love, and you're emerging into the light. So some of you have been, felt like you've suffered around the area of love, and that it's been a struggle for you. You are now climbing your way out through your own efforts to experience the greatest love in your life. So this also means that, the storybook tales about what love is like, and the kings and the queens, and they're always happy and everything's happily ever after. Love isn't like the storybooks. However, mastering your emotions, the King of Cups is the master of emotions. If you master your emotions, you're going to have the most healthy love that you can ever have. And so this is like, always, kings are always working on themselves. They're always finding where their weaknesses are and turning them into their strengths. And there you go, Queen of Swords. And she is strong. And she's got a strong thinking mind. And she utilizes her thinking mind in love. A lot of people don't. They just say, oh, well, if I feel it in my heart, then it must be right. Well, that gets us in trouble. The Queen of Swords said, you always have to have your thinking mind going when you're in a relationship and there is love that is a topic. Happiness, by the way, is coming very soon to your love. For those of you that chose the green pile, your reading begins now. On the topic of love, there's a part of you that has a little bit of sadness, and also there's a cloak on, and cloaks hide things. And you might be focused on what has gone wrong in your life. Maybe you've had some tragedy around the area of love, and you've just kind of felt like secluding yourself and a feeling like, is love really going to work out in my life? And you know what? It is, because this is the Two of Cups. And the Two of Cups means that Spirit is actively working to improve the love in your life or bring love into your life. Be open to asking Spirit, God, whoever is in the sky that you want to pray for, and it doesn't matter who that is, for help. This is the King of Cups. The King of Cups indicates mastery over emotions. When it comes to your emotions, rise up to the level of a king. A king is able to rule a country not only because they're intelligent, but because they emotionally provide what people need. So this is, this isn't being able to fix people, but it's how emotionally comforting are you? Do you judge people? Are you critical? If they do something, do you point out the critical, but you don't compliment them on the good? So the king is here to tell you, share compliments. Reach through someone who's maybe had a painful thing happen and inspire them to come out of the darkness and be the best they can be. So the king inspires people. He doesn't force them. He doesn't fix them. He inspires them. So the king is saying, the next time you have challenges in your relationships, look at each individual person who's involved in the challenge and see things from their shoes. From every person here has a point of view that's different. You don't know their history. Some of them have abuse in their history, and maybe you triggered the abuse. So it just wants you to make an offering to just get along with them however they show up to the plate. Now, that's unless they're a narcissist or abusive, then we have different rules. But basically everybody wants love. And this is being willing to take action and reach out to others to gain love. If you don't take any action, if you don't have love in your life right now, this is an action-based card. He's not sitting at home playing video games. He's out there actively engaged in activities that will put him in an opportunity to meet someone. And in this time it's safe. Now, this is like, well, I'm afraid because everybody I've met so far has wounded me. Well, that just means you have work to do on yourself. It's not someone else's job or responsibility to correct any wounds that you have had from the past. It's not their responsibility. Don't make it their responsibility. Also, your astrology and your planets play a role. So just realize that the different signs influence relationships. And this is, try to empower people. Try to have people that you plant the seeds of empowerment, but you don't expect them to do anything with it. And so if you're in this relationship and the person has asked for help and you've given them some guidance and they don't follow it, that's okay. They have that right. But if they continually don't follow it and it starts to become a sabotage of the relationship, then you have to rethink your role in that, because your role is not to fix them. And if you can't accept them for who they are, exactly who they are, it might be time to move on. And this is the Ace of Swords. And some of you will be moving on from relationships that don't serve you. And this is also the thinking mind. Use the thinking mind to evaluate if that relationship is working for you or is not working for you. But you guys are definitely, see the two strands, they're intertwined. You guys are definitely going to have success around the area of love. And some of you are going to be receiving messages about love from spirit.